Hello, and welcome back to this week's episode of the Gettin Creative podcast in collaboration with the National Youth Theatre with me, your host, Shakira Newton. Gettin Creative is a podcast where I'll be chatting to folk from all creative industries, finding out where they got started, where they've been, where they're going, and getting some advice on how you can get started on that journey too. This week's guest is a talented young performer on her way to starting at one of the top drama schools in the UK. Now, I wanted to get her on the show, not only to be able to boast once she's made the big time, which I can really see happening someday soon, but also because I believe that her story is so inspiring that more people needed to hear it. And hopefully it will help anyone going through anything like what she has been through gain the confidence to follow their dreams as well. Please join me in welcoming Crystal Marshall to the show. Hey, Crystal.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing good. It's very hot in Birmingham at the moment. So yeah, and also I'm just a bit restless because I just want to start drama school right now, and it's just becoming too long of a wait. But yeah, I'm doing fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing the same. I'm a bit jammy when it comes to the summer weather because at the minute I'm back home. I did lockdown back home in Portsmouth, which has a beach. So as soon as it's hot, I just get my skates and I go skating down the
Oh,
seaside.
lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can feel your pain, especially if you're not near the sea breeze. I know when I'm back in London and it's sunny and there's no breeze, I just get so restless. So I feel you, but you'll learn all about this soon because it's it's a week now, isn't it, until you go back?
Yeah, they're more or less, yeah. They're a week, yeah.
And how
I'm
do you
just
like the
like,
place that you're staying in?
Yes, it's just so nice. I wanted to get a hall at first and not a house because I wanted to fully get the uni drama school life atmosphere and have a common room and like meet my flatmates and etc. And so yes, so like I've got a uni hall around around Hammersmith, which is where the drama school is, and it's just so easy for me. It's so like accessible to like get there and back. But like obviously as well, like because I had cancer, that means that for the next 5 years I need to have cancer checkups just to make sure that things are okay and fine. And so it's like so good that it's only a short drive away from my hospital to the drama school to my accommodation. So like it's just like I'm just so lucky that like especially I got a affordable accommodation because London compared to Birmingham is really expensive.
Yeah, the London prices are ridiculous.
Yeah, really expensive. And like even though people were saying to me, Crystal, do you know how expensive London is? I was just like, you know what? Like I'll find a place, it's fine. But I feel like I was just a bit naive and learned that the hard way. But I found a good accommodation, so I'm happy.
That, you know what, that is just half the struggle. Once you've got a decent accommodation, you're not paying too much of your loan and stuff out of that. Have you met the people that you're living with? Do you like them? You getting on with them?
Like we have a WhatsApp group, which I'm so thankful for because it just gets me a bit more comfortable with them. Um, because as well, having a visible difference is really hard meeting new people because it's human nature to be curious about something that you haven't seen before. And so people stare and look and they don't really realize that they're doing it. And it just transports me back to my childhood as well because I was picked on and bullied. And this was way before me having a bit of a difference. But even though those two are completely, they can become related, when I feel a person staring at my face, it just transports me back to that childhood crystal and it makes me have really bad anxiety over it. Um, but like slowly it's getting better, and I'm learning to accept it, but it's still a hard thing to process and get used to.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Let's tell the audience what it is that caused the visible difference and sort of go from there.
Yeah, okay. So in 2016, I was diagnosed with a rare facial bone cancer called osteosarcoma in my top right jaw. And it started off as a little pea-shaped bump, and then it just grew and grew into a tumor, basically. And so I went to the doctors. They gave me antibiotics, and it was actually my dentist who transported me uh, to the kind of bigger hospital in Birmingham where they have a head and neck cancer ward. And cancer in my face to me was furthest from my mind at all, because it's like I didn't even know that you could get cancer in the face, really, because it was so unheard of and no one really
It's not
talked
one of the
about it.
main ones that you hear of, really, is it at all?
No, no, no. There's always breast cancer and a bit of bone cancer as well, and leukemia, but never a facial bone cancer. And now looking back, I'm thinking, is it because my type of cancer is so terrifying to like actually get that maybe media doesn't want to touch that and dig deep into that. Speaking like I don't know, but me as an actress, it was really upsetting because I was 18 when I was diagnosed, and I had my whole life ahead of me. I was a very um like I was a very passionate student, and I knew where I was headed, which was going to drama school or uni to be an actress, because that's what I wanted to do ever since I was about 6 years old. And I realized that they could do it, um, they could have a job. So yeah, like like I can't even describe or put into words when I woke up, like after my operation, and my whole face was swollen because of the operation. And they like warned me not to look in the mirror, but I was compelled to look in the mirror because I was just curious to know what it looked like. And because obviously after the operation, it's a lot more worse than it normally is when you're healed and whatever. And it was just this gut wrenching, um, heartbreaking feeling. And I had this overcoming emotion and disappointment that, oh my God, I can never act again, can I? Because I don't see nobody like me on TV or media, because with acting in theatre, it's overly glamorized, and you see these picture perfect people, and me being a generation X, like as well, like growing up with Instagram and all those picture perfect people, etc. And so like I was like, I've got no chance, because but because if like I didn't really think about it until that moment, but it's like because I'm a dark skinned black woman, and also I got this on top of it, it's like it's just bringing down my chances even more. And before, like I didn't even think being a dark skinned black woman would have really lessened my chances of being an actress, until like I grew older and I realized how the industry treated certain people who look like me. And so yeah, then it was just like really, really upsetting, and uh, and that's why I decided to go into stage management, because I said to myself that even though I can't be an actress anymore, because I believe that this is not a world for people like me to be an actress and have those type of dreams and that type of job where they become successful. I still want to work in theatre, and I still want to do stage management, because I cannot see myself working behind a desk and not doing anything related to theatre. So so like I said, let me just try stage management and let's see how that goes. And
How
yeah.
did that go? What you talk me through your stage management career?
Yeah. So I have a theatre called the Crescent Theatre in Birmingham, and all of their staff are members. So like they work at the bar, and they like work in the box office as well, and and they do like a bit of stage management and script writing and all those things there, and they also um do drama and acting as well there. And so like that was like a really amazing place for me personally because but you know, like I realised as well that with like speaking to like other people who have a visible difference, they find it harder going back to school and college because people would always try to put together who they were and what they looked like previously and how they look like now. And that's why it's harder to meet people who knew you before. Um, so I was just glad that I went to a place where no one knew me and I was just completely new and completely fresh. And yeah, saying like it was like really hard and really scary, but like I got through it and absolutely loved stage management. I absolutely loved it. The BBC actually went there to like interview me as well and there and it was just such an amazing experience. I loved it. But when I saw my friends on stage thinking of enjoying themselves and acting and playing beautiful and amazing characters, this sort of depression came over me and I had a serious talk with myself saying like I want to be on that stage and like why can't I be on that stage? Like um it's like like I put that list in my head saying, okay, then thinking like I can't be on that stage because I have a facial difference and nobody else has a facial difference. And so like then I had a mini um fight really thinking like in my head saying, but Crystal, if you have a passion for something and you love something so deeply, um, why give it up? Like who's gonna stop you? But like yourself really. And then, you know, like I feel like as well, because with acting we get loads and loads of rejections and auditions and etc. And so but the most important thing is if you have a belief in yourself that you can do it, like a deep belief that you can do it, then you can achieve anything and you are like unstoppable. But that moment when you don't have no belief in yourself, that's when it becomes really dangerous and you get to that low point where where you think that the whole world's against you and bad things happen to you and etc etc and then you're not grateful for what you have and what you're capable of. And so I just decided just to be just to basically have a little cry and have a little sulk or whatever. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask my mom like if I can actually like do this drama thing because like I value her like opinion of like anyone else. Like it's good to have belief in yourself, but it makes it even better to have that one person who always supports you. And I'm really dramatic. I looked her right in the eye and said to her, Mom, tell me right now, do you think I can make it? Do you think like I can make it? And then she was like, Crystal, I believe you can make it with everything in me. And I was like, okay, that's it. So, you know, I kind of like applied to WADA, Lambda, the War Central, because like, you know, she's always supported me throughout everything. Like even in hospital, she was like sleeping, thinking on next to my bed every single night. And that was for like a whole year. Um, like in Birmingham and also in London as well, because I had my surgery in London. And so, yeah. So, you know, like it was like if she believes that they can do it, then yeah, that's a sign from the universe telling me to go for it.
And I
Yeah.
mean, you're just from following your story on Instagram, you can just see yours and your mum's relationship is such a special one, and you can just tell you're both best friends, and she is your biggest fan. And that's so. As obviously a performer myself, you need that. You need your mum there on the days where you do decide, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to give up. But unfortunately, a lot of actors and performers and anyone in the creative industries tend to get a bit of imposter syndrome and get to those points where they overthink and get in their heads to be like, I can't do this. There's nothing like ringing your mum, which you're moving away now, so it's going to be a ringing rather than going into a room, but just ringing out and saying, mum, I just need you to hype me up a bit, and she's only got to say one thing and you'll be straight back on it.
Yeah,
How do you feel about moving away from mum?
because like I've had loads of moments where I said to my mum, do you think that Lambda only chose me because I have a facial difference and they wanted to set an example? Because when I get stares that I'm not prepared for, that's when all these thoughts that come into my head, thinking, can I really be an actress, or like am I just kind of kidding myself, and is Lambda only taking pity on me just so they can boost up how like inclusive they are? But just like all these negative thoughts that I have in my head, but like just one 10-minute pep talk from my amazing mom, and then that just kind of boosts me up back again. So yeah, like they can kind of do like, even if it's not a mom, like even a friend or like a family member or just anybody, your teacher, your mentor, can really really help you a lot. But it all starts with you having belief in yourself. So,
this is it, and especially now that you're moving away from mum and you're going to be in a very like high pace. So we're not sure how drama school is going to look this coming year because it's our first year starting with COVID. Obviously last year we had a lot of graduates who only got the half of their year or 2 terms into their final year, which was, I can imagine devastating for a lot of those guys. It was a really weird term, last third term for a lot of people at all different unis, let alone drama school. But now you're going into drama school during COVID, so we don't really know what's going to happen, but I do know, and I think everyone you speak to who's been to drama school or who's currently at drama school will let you know that it can get really intense. So like you say, being able to find your own peace and find ways to give yourself that confidence again is so important. And like you say, there's always going to be times in your head where your brain tells you, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, you're not as good enough as that person, or etc. And even visible difference aside, as a person of color, as a Black woman, as for myself as a mixed woman who classes herself as a Black woman going into my third and final year, I know that it is common that each year when agents come in, that if anyone who is classed as BAME gets signed, then a lot of people will brush that off as it's because they're BAME and they're ticking a box and they need to be inclusive, like you've just said, all those things you're telling yourself. So as a Black woman with a visible difference, I'm sure that these thoughts will come up, and I just want you to listen back to this podcast and remind yourself that it's not that your hard work, your determination, your positive mental attitude, your vision boards, all of that, you did that. No one else did that. You're the one who looked your mum in the eye and said, can I do this because I want to do this? You didn't sort of accept defeat and say, right, I can't do this anymore. You were like, do you know what, this is what I want to do, so I'm going to do it. And I'm a big advocate for the quote, be the change you want to see in the world. And I feel like you were being that. You said to me earlier, you don't see enough people with visible difference on TV and film. You're going to be that person. You're going to be the one that future people who want to get into this industry with a visible difference are going to look at and go, well, Crystal Marshall did it, so why can't I? And I think that's what you've got to remember. Every time you start to get those thoughts in your head, be like, that's who I am.
Because well, like, it's just like especially in like 2020 and very like a bit of like 2019, because I auditioned in 2019. Like I thought me being Black and having a facial difference really helped me a lot, like in the auditions, because like not so that drama schools can like tick a box, but also they will never forget me, because I highly doubt, even in the 1 or 2%, that there is a person who has a visible difference and also has a story like mine, and who is of the BAME community, who auditioned for like drama school, And so I was like, you know what, like even if I don't get in, at least I'm made an impression. And my ultimate goal, like obviously, was to get in and to like act again. But like I knew that it wasn't going to be the end of the world, like if it didn't get in. But like, you know, like I feel like my ultimate goal was so that I could share to the core of my group to have a visible difference, and to the children in the future as well, that don't make your face or what you look like stop you from achieving your goals. You can have like about 10 or 5 people say you can't do it, but then again, like I said, it only takes you and also like another like another person to believe in you, and then it will work out in your favor. And so yeah, you know.
That's it. And you say, you know, there could be 5 or 10 people who say you can't do it, but for every 5 or 10 people that say you can't do it, there's going to be hundreds to 1,000 of people
Yeah,
who
yeah,
obviously can do it.
yeah, because you know, I kind of Instagram as well. Like I like the more popular I become and the more that I grow, which makes me really happy as well because my cancer is really rare, and if I can make people see the signs early, then they won't have a big like a type of operation like me, but like extensive and that, so that they can just have it out quickly and then it'll be fine. And yeah, so like saying like I'm really really grateful for all the love I've received, but obviously with love comes hate, and I have received my fair share of like trolls, just like calling me every horrible name in the book. And I thought that I would be hurt um by their words, but I believe that spirituality has like helped me in the sense of, because like spirituality is all about love, compassion, and unity. And so whenever I receive um like a negative comment or like a troll, I just send them love and kindness. And like even though it sounds really naff and weird saying that, then we're like, why do they deserve love? Like if they are hurting me? But you know, like I just like feel like when we work in a vibration of hate and and pain and regret, it would just make us more 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 like down and down and down. And I'm just looking at all the love and support that I have, like in my family and my friends and in people who are so like touched by my story personally, that I don't really care about me and comments anymore. And like you know, like even when celebrities say, "Oh, they don't care about me and comments getting like you know hate," and then like here's me, yeah, right. I mean, like you know, you should care about it because it is awful. But like I have come to a place of like kind of getting their mindset, because my life is perfect right now. I mean, I'm going to drama school, something that I'd never thought in my wildest dreams. And also, I have a life I'm living that I'm healthy as well. And so, what is a new comment to me, really? You know what I mean? Like, it's like I've already seen what life has thrown at me, which was horrible and terrible. And now my life is really beautiful and amazing. So, just feeding to that hate is just, yeah. Then you can like also as well like with like spirituality, people always say that there are two types of people in this world: people who work from like hate and pain and hurting people as well, and people who spread love and compassion. So which part of the world do you personally want to be a part of? And like, I don't know about you, but like I want to be a part of the love and the compassion.
Exactly. I want to be a
Yeah,
loving, compassionate person. You want to be on that
yeah,
good high frequency. You want to be on, have those good vibrations. You don't want to, unfortunately, different people deal with different situations in different ways, and it ends up being turning certain people into a certain type of person. But a good point I had to relate to what you've just said was people holding on to hate as like taking a sip of poison and hoping that it hurts the other person. And I
yeah,
think that's something that's really important, something that I try to remind myself a lot. I used used to when I was younger, be able to just resent everything. You know, you're just an angry teenager and you're angry at the world, and you just sort of, it's so easy to just sort of find a fault in everything and everyone. And as Eckhart Tolle, a spiritual leader who I like to follow, says, someone can be a grievance looking for a cause. And I think I was very much like that as a teenager. And then I got to a point where I realized that I was having a mouthful of poison, hoping that it was going to hurt other people, and it was actually only just ruining my own frequency. And as you know, as someone who manifests and has manifested this fantastic life for herself, you can't do that unless you're on a good positive frequency. And something I loved going through your Instagram, because I went right down to the bottom and went my way back through.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Yeah. But I just wanted to, I'm so interested in your story, and everything you post, I was just like, oh, she is so cool. But going through and seeing like your old mood boards and the things that you had on your old mood boards, and then getting to like the modern day and watching you achieve those things, I was like, that's so cool. Like, she did that. She told the universe, this is what I want, and the universe gave it back to her. You're living proof that manifesting works, and I love it.
Yeah, you know, it was just like so trippy to like actually, because you know, like I was just trying out something fun, like a fun like art project sort of thing, and I watched the Secret movie, like as well. Like I highly recommend that because it's all about the law of attraction and everything, and it's really really good. And so like then like so that was just saying, oh, like what if we did live in a world where we could get anything that we want to get? I mean, that sounds amazing. And I feel like being an actress plays into it as well because it's all about make believe. Like I had to live and act like a drama school student in order for me to actually see myself and be like accepted in drama school, because literally every single Monday morning, what I did, I mean, it might sound completely mad, like saying this right now, but every single Monday morning, what I did was I dressed in my drama school blacks, and I pretended to like, you know, go to drama school. I went to sleep early and I woke up early, just like I'm going to drama school, and I did vocal warm-ups and fitness warm-ups and everything like that there, and I just read some scripts and monologues, and I was like literally acting like I was going to drama school. And it's all about living as if, because like if you can't see it in your mind, how do you expect it to manifest in real life? I mean, like it's like impossible.
I let you in on a little secret.
Yeah.
For the year before, when I was auditioning to get into drama school, so I got into drama school, I started my first in 2018. So the year before that, I was listening to The Secret as an audiobook on Audible. Not sponsored. But if you want to sponsor us, then please do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was listening to The Secret on Audible, and I also listened to I listened to the sequel of The Secret, which was The Power. And I was doing all kinds of manifestation, and you know, I was going around telling people I'll be moving to London at the end of the year, and they were like, why? I was like, so I'm going to drama school, and I hadn't even done an audition yet, but I was telling people I'm going to drama school.
Yeah.
I did. I got in. So, you know, I knew that it worked from then. And then again, looking at your story, I was like, see, it works. And it's good to remind yourself, because it is very easy to fall out of it when you get like caught up in the world, and just life in general sometimes can take you off that path. And you look back and you're like, I know it works. I know this positive mental attitude works and spirituality works. It's worked for me in the past. So I just need to veer my head, put my blinkers on, and get back on track. And I just think it's awesome that you're already so into that. Do you know what? Your teachers are going to love you if you've already practiced getting up early and doing your warm-ups and stuff.
Yeah.
All they talk about is make sure you do the warm-ups. So yeah, you're going to be top of the class.
As well, like I find it kind of weird speaking about it to people, because certain people like when my friends have a problem and they have anxiety or fear about something, I just want to talk to them about spirituality, and the law of attraction. But because they have a belief and a religion, I don't want to step on their toes and etc.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Trying to balance it. Where is that line where with religion and spirituality? I'm someone who's not religious but very spiritual, so I'm very happy to talk about it.
Yeah. like, like I think about spirituality as my religion.
Yeah.
So though people say that spirituality is not religion, like you, but like
But
I'm
you've got
just
to
like
believe it's a
yeah,
faith. You may not be believing in or speaking to a god or praying to a god, but you are speaking to a universe or something. I like to do. I do a bit of ancestral healing as well, so speaking to my ancestors and stuff.
yeah,
So even though I'm not talking to a god, I'm the same as you. I sort of class it as my religion, even though it's not obviously a
yeah.
religion.
So, I can as well, like if we're going back to Africa, our fatherland, like Africa. So like if we're talking about that as well, like they actually practice spirituality a lot as well, and we're like healing and meditation and all those things there. It's like like it's like almost like I'm going back to my roots, and then like just like bringing it to my life now. And so yeah, yeah, because well, like certain people who are spiritual like to call themselves light workers, and that that basically means like it's like a term for like anything really, but like it means I think like that just spread love and compassion to people, and help your fellow neighbor, and just teach them about spirituality the best way that you can, because like can you imagine if everybody kind of followed the like a spirituality like as in having compassion and love? I mean, this world would be a very nice and amazing place to live in, and so yeah, yeah, like like I'm like with my friends who are religious, I do try to word it in a way where like it's not like offensive to them, and like if they want my help and they are kind of willing to listen, then that's great and that's cool. Then like if not, then I won't push them. But it's hard being a spiritual person because like it's like I've got the tools to help you out. But like if you're resisting me, and like I mean it's a bit hard. And it's like I don't want you to be in pain for like a long time,
Yeah.
but you're not making me help you. So it's just like a bit of a,
It's a hard one when you start to look into it, and you start to reap the benefits yourself. It's very hard to be able to see other people, as you say, they use the word suffering. And then like if you, I'm such a book pusher. I'm such someone who's like, read this book I read this book, read like watch this YouTube clip, like watch this spiritual leader. I'm such that person because I swear by it. But obviously then there's other people who have their gods and have their religion, which they will tell you, that they prayed last night and it worked. And
yeah,
to
yeah,
each
see,
their own. As long as
yeah.
everyone's got something to look forward to and something that is helping them feel good, it's all good. But I just love meeting more spiritual people, so I was really
Yeah, no,
excited talking to you
like
about
I'm just
that.
like really, yeah. So like I'm really, really happy and glad that you are also spiritual because like it's a dime a dozen trying to find people near my age as well. Because my mom goes to like a spiritual church, and
Oh
she
wow.
sometimes talks there. Is like yeah, she's a clairvoyant, crystal healer, and a tarot card reader as well. And she's really good, like really, really good. Like like she like actually told me that I would get into Lambda, even though my heart was set on the War Central. So I was like, no, mom, no, mom, it's going to be the War Central because I believe in the War Central. She's like, okay, fine, but you're just saying it's going to be Lambda. I was like, no, mom, no. But like, see, she's right,
Yeah,
and
you
like,
can't always know.
and thinking like it's so funny because I have a spiritual journal where I script like like everything that I kind of want to like actually come manifest into my life. And I said, I just want some spiritual friends who are near my age so I can talk to them, so we can meditate and do other things there. And
Here I
but
am.
like yeah, but like like as well, like I've got about two people who are spiritual. They can like in my class, you know.
Oh,
And
wicked.
we've been like speaking about crystals and spirituality all this time, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is my dream. This
You
is
already
my
found your
dream.
tribe.
Yeah, I mean, like already, you know, like it's just like, yeah. So,
I love that.
and you, of course. So like that makes three people. So
Thank you. I will trek across London. We live on opposite sides of London, but I promise I will trek and come and find you.
okay, yeah,
Also, you spoke a lot on your Instagram about how music has helped you through everything that you've been through in the last few years. Did you want to
yeah.
sort of talk about that?
Okay, so I have this subscription box called the Buddy Box, which is from the Blurt Foundation, and they help people who have anxiety and depression, I think. And I really, really did need them at that time because like I was hiding my cheek and hiding my face, and I didn't gonna go outside at all. And so I just became like a shell of myself, you know. But like every single month they have a healthcare person or a artist who makes these boxes of really nice cute things. So you can like it'll be like a poster, some like stickers, some like healthcare stuff, and just like just like really really good and amazing things to make you feel good. And so I received a booklet from Sarah Allen, which is a New Zealand illustrator, and she has a disorder, but like I don't remember what it is, but like it's like hard for her to like taste and hear and feel certain things, and so she created this booklet, but like, like if you have like anxiety or like certain things or whatever, like you can choose things to make you feel happier and have more like of like a like a scale or whatever, or make you feel calm and relaxed. And so she had this like playlist, um, but it's like so like if you're feeling down and sad, have a playlist that will make you feel happy, then it can like excited. And then when you feel low, have a separate playlist um of like um of like songs that oh no sorry no if you feel low have like a beat playlist, but like if you feel anger have a calm playlist, you know.
Okay.
And so like that helped me a lot because it like not only separated certain things so that if I am um feeling those like emotions, then like I can quickly just like click on a certain song or like a certain playlist, and then I feel cool and really really good, and then they can be so fine. But it's just such a really good and really easy like idea to like do as well, you know. So yeah, like I highly recommend
Yeah, I
people.
think I'm definitely going to get on that. I think um, I think a very easy thing that we all slip into and always have done since the beginning of time is when you feel like crap watching a sad movie or listening to more sad music to make yourself more
Yeah,
depressed. I don't know why we do it. We just love feeling sorry for ourselves. And I know that so many people listening will be like, yeah, I've done that too. So I think it's very important to do the opposite. And also, I've never really thought about being in a heightened state, like anxious wise, and thinking, okay, I need to listen to music to calm myself down. I
yeah.
mean, I think that it makes sense. It sounds like common sense, but until someone tells you something, you can't really think of
Yeah,
it now.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because like for that playlist, I have like bird sounds and like just like a crunchy leaf and like just like
Oh, like ASMR.
like people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, like and it does really really calm me down a lot. Like like it doesn't matter where you are, like in the world. It just makes you feel like a lot more calmer, like and really good as well. And so yeah, like I just swear by it now. Like it just really helped me a lot.
And do you play any music? Do you sing? Do you perform musically at all?
Um, so like in primary school, I played a brass instrument, but because I'm a Aries, I'm really impatient, and like I think like if I can't get things done on like a first try or like a second try, then like no, like forget it. So yeah, like I played a bit of bass, a bit
Oh,
of
cool.
guitar, and a bit of drums, and that was in the hospital as well because like in the hospital we have a teenage cancerous ward, and we had a music room as well. But like and then here's me going, I am going to learn the drums and the guitar and the piano. I'm going to be like, I'm going to come out of here and be absolutely sick and amazing. And then no, because obviously,
You've just
like,
described my lockdown plan.
chemotherapy, yeah, like, obviously, chemotherapy, it doesn't um, make you tired out straight away. I think it takes like a long time to do that. So like my motivation to do anything was like just like solely yeah. So like just like also during lockdown, here's me. Yes, I'm gonna learn the guitar and I'm gonna do it, but no, like
Yeah, that's what I mean.
so
I literally was like, I was practicing guitar nearly every day, and I was getting so frustrated. I'm like you, if I can't get something straight away, because I am very much that kid who, when my mum said you can put anything you put your mind to, she is 100% correct. Like anything I put my mind to, 9 times out of 10, I can get it first time. I'm quite jammy like that. But for
yeah.
some reason, guitar is just not something that the universe wants me to be able to
I
do.
know, no,
But
no,
it is.
thing at all. Yeah. They like I can barely sing. I wouldn't call myself like Beyonce or music, but like I can barely sing. Um, my mom says that I have a beautiful voice, but then again, she's my mom, so like I no, I'm entirely yeah, because like it's only her who says it, so don't be a bit suspicious. Um,
Have you got
so
singing,
yeah,
have you got like music or singing, is that a part of your course at all, do you know?
there it is, yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh, amazing.
and
Yeah, we have singing on our
and
course and I'm so bad at every assessment we do. I'm just like, oh, do I have to do it?
but like I can hold a tune, so like I'm not tone deaf, like I can hold a little tune. But
Bet you're
yeah,
just
no,
being
I
modest.
wouldn't
I
call
bet
it
you
my
are
style.
like Beyonce.
No, no. Like what I am looking forward to is combat, which I'm really looking forward
Oh,
to because yeah, I mean, sick. Like I just cannot wait. But yeah,
is that what kind
so
of role do you want to do, like moving forward when you make hit the big time? You want to be doing action?
yeah, because like I never really thought about it until I had a facial difference. But people who have a bit of a difference, they are literally seen as plain bad guys and villains and people to pity. And I was like, what is up with that? Like it's just like yeah. And I even talked about it on my page on Instagram as well, saying that I typed in movies for like people who have a face difference and there was just like movies like just but like horror and violence and they just like really made me sad and really shocked me because it's like people don't realize how much hurt they are causing people because look with Black Lives Matter now and like it's been going on for like loads of years now as well. They have stopped using blackface because it was really popular in theatre and TV, and now now the one that people that are actually speaking about it and saying, hold on, using blackface is not a form of comedy, it's really offensive. So like, like please do not do it anymore. And so like it's like I believe that people who have a have a bit of a difference, especially people who can't control what they look like, have to speak up more about that as well, you know, because it's like really,
Definitely.
really
I feel like if we're
damaging.
pushing for diversity, if we're pushing for diversity, for non-white actors to have more roles and more main roles rather than, you know, the token best friend, and you know, not even just in front of the camera, behind the camera as well, with regard to directing and writing and cinematography, all of that. There's just not enough representation of people of color in this industry.
Yeah,
If we're fighting for that, then we also need to be inclusive of different disabilities as well, and visual differences too, because, you know, if we're saying, why is there not enough black people in this film? You see black people every day. You see all types of people every day.
yeah,
You don't see these skinny, white, blonde hair, blue eyed, model looking people constantly, you know.
yeah. They, you know, yeah, because well, like, you know, it's like really funny as well because me coming from like a black background as well, like whenever I go to like a drama club or like anything bands going up, my family always asks me, oh, so like how many black people were like in the place, and they can like have like in like a jokey way because it's like always like as well. I kind of really like thought about it or like actually cared, but I was always the only black person there, and I don't know if it's because we were not like encouraged or like certain black people were not encouraged to like choose like acting as a job because it's like
I
we
think
are
it's just a
not.
matter of not seeing yourself enough on the television
Yeah,
screen,
yeah,
or
maybe,
on
yeah,
stage. And I think for me growing up, and it might have something to do with, you know, me being mixed as well, I always realized that there was barely any black people on the TV screen, and if they were really, really light skinned. Obviously it goes into discussion of colorism, which is a whole nother podcast for another day, which is a
yeah,
massive
yeah,
industry.
yeah, yeah,
So it gets to a point where I think it's just a matter of not enough people seeing people who look like them on the screen, unless it is, you know, playing a slave if it's period,
yeah,
or playing the best friend if it's contemporary, or playing a thug or something if it's contemporary. And as much as all of those films are absolutely fantastic and they depict different areas and aspects of the black community in their own way and their
yeah,
own right, I think it is time to have rather stories about, you know, being black, and just have stories about black people being, you know,
yeah,
because we do have normal life as
exactly, yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah,
And, you know, that umbrella has to include
yeah,
all different types of ethnic minorities, shall I say, as well as all different types of disabilities, because we are one big massive world full of, that we're a melting pot of all these different types of people from different backgrounds and such amazing and interesting stories. So why are we still watching the same rom-com with the actors that all look the same
yeah,
over and
but
over
why,
again?
like, you know, like it's like that, you know, where I'm coming from because like I see that with my race, but also with people who have a visible difference as well. And me transitioning from like having a normal face to like having a visible difference, um, it was a really hard transition because all I saw was people who were feared and people screaming at like, you know,
Yeah, because
like
wasn't there,
screaming at.
what was the thing about Lord of the Rings?
Oh yeah, yeah. So basically, there's a new TV show on Amazon TV that is in production, and The Lord of the Rings sent out a casting call saying that they're looking for abnormal, freaky-looking people with like scars.
Freaky looking.
Yeah,
Ew.
yeah, and like big, plotchy faces or whatever, which I would fit into that bracket, I guess. And they can like it was just like you were not put on. We need the blackest, darkest black person with the hoodies, whatever, whatever, whatever. You wouldn't put that into a casting big, thing. So like it's like it's just saying as well that these people don't see us as human beings, and it's really terrifying as well because
Yeah, it's so
I've had
disrespectful to use the word
yeah,
freaky. That's horrid.
but well, like I had people who are born with a Caucasian difference who have like told me how much they got picked on and bullied at school to the point where like there's this one man called um like Adam Pearson, and he has a visible difference as well. And he said, um, like in primary school, a bunch of kids actually trapped him in a classroom and just punched on him, because he looked different. And like that's like so, yeah. But like it's like if kids have been grown up to fear and to hate the big bad, like evil looking person in the town or the street or whatever, then what do you expect? I mean, like it's going to translate into human life. And so that's why I really, really want to do a superhero Marvel thing. Like, even if it's not me, like, to look at like anybody who has a facial difference, who's a superhero, so that at least people who have a visible difference have someone to look up to, because
Yeah, the hero and
I
not the
couldn't
villain.
imagine how that was like, just to not have no role model, but someone who is perceived as ugly and feared. I mean, it's like really, really sad if you really think about it.
Yeah, no,
And
it is,
really
especially
fired me
if
off.
someone growing up with that, like you say, and just looking for anyone in mainstream media that looks like them, or could just make them feel not like an other. That's why we need more representation, and that's why we need you as a superhero. We need to get in touch with Marvel and get this. We need to start writing this and get this out there. Because I think if you're well into stage combat and that's the thing you're most looking forward to at drama school, yeah, you need to be a superhero.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? I'm trying to manifest it.
Get it on a mood board. Get it on a vision
Yeah,
board
yeah. I
now.
am doing that now.
Do you
So
like to
who
write
knows?
at all? Do you do any writing?
So in quarantine, I did some like poems ish because there's this there's this thing on like on on Instagram and Facebook called the like isolation journals, and like every single day, this writer sent out a topic that we had to speak about. Then it was just like really, really good, and it just really kept me sane throughout quarantine. And it's taking like I was doing a bit of that. Then I realised how much of a writer I am. I'm really, really gassed about that. If I'm being honest. And so yeah, taking like I did a bit of that. I did a sorry excuse of trying to write a play called Bubble, and it's just like really, really bad. I mean, like you're
Have you
looking back
finished it?
now,
Is it done all the way
no,
through?
no,
Then you
okay,
don't know it's
so
bad yet. If it's not finished, you don't know it's bad yet. Keep going.
they're like like it's like so so basically, I wrote a large chunk of the script, and then my computer didn't save it.
Oh,
And so I don't know if that's the universe telling me stop, Crystal. And so yeah, like I was like a bit peeled off about that, so I had to leave it for a second.
or maybe
Uh,
Bubble the Play isn't your destiny, but maybe getting started on writing this script for Marvel to
yeah,
send
maybe, yeah. You
to.
know, like I am writing my book,
Oh,
which
what's your
is
book about?
thinking like it's only about my life and stuff of my cancer journey and etc. Because like I believe like even if I don't make it as an actress or whatever, I feel like what I've done so far will really, really inspire people who have a bit of a difference, but like like who don't even have a bit of a difference at all. Like if like they want some like inspiration to go for their dream, then they can hopefully look at my book and feel like inspired, because like as well, and people like Katie Piper, I have been inspired by her like ever since I was like, like a little girl, and I heard her story. And she has done so much, so much for people like me and the community as well, through something so horrible and tragic and really horrible that happened to her. But she came through it, and so like if I can be thinking like my mom said that thinking like I can be the black Katy Piper or something like that. Thinking like I don't know about that. But yeah, yeah, it's just yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully
The
they'll
whole
finish
thing,
that next year.
you're going to start it next year.
No. So I'm gonna finish it next year. Yeah,
Finish it next year. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, the whole point, the whole reason that I wanted so badly for you to get on this podcast was because I found your story so inspiring, and I do think so many more people will. Hopefully the listeners will as well. I'm sure they will. Have you got any advice, if you were to give some specific advice to anybody with either a visible difference or just a disability of any kind who want to get into the acting industry and are thinking, oh, it's not for me anymore because of this, or it's never been for me because I was born this way, what would your advice be to them?
I feel like we should stop looking for a role model and become like like a role model ourselves, really. Um, because like I was just waiting and waiting to see a person like me to feel like I can do it. Um, like until like I said to myself that I am going to become the role model I wish that I had when I was going through this scary time. And like of course as well, like it might be a bit different because like I had cancer, but I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. But I nearly died. I nearly died of cancer, but also going through this is not easy at all. You know, people um people get into like a really dark place doing this that they can like unfortunately um they can like overcome from it, etc. And so like I would just say that we have only one life, and just please live this one life as beautifully as you can, really, and just just like take each step and day at a time, and don't be too hard on yourself as well, because um this is a really cruel world anyway. But as long as you love yourself and you try to work on yourself and you are patient as well, then you will reach abundance, um and you'll have a better life. Yeah. So yeah, like I'm sorry that it's not this amazing quote, and it's not as yeah, but yeah,
Hey, I
like
thought that was an
in a
amazing
double
quote.
way. Yeah,
You said it's not an amazing quote. I think that's an amazing quote. I'm going to be
okay.
rewinding and listening to that specific part of the podcast whenever I feel
Oh,
down. Whenever
okay.
I feel like I need to give myself a kick up the bum, I'll be listening to that bit. Well, I've had the most amazing chat with you today. Is there anything that you want to plug whilst you're on here? I know you've got a couple of Instagrams to follow your story, journey. Sorry. Anything else that you wanted to talk about or let the people know is coming up?
Okay, so my Instagram is face in osteosarcoma X. I know that is a long cancer term, but I mean, yeah. Say so like I might post the link or so that you can spell it and see. But please follow me, because we promote love and kindness and abundance to every single human being. Everybody is welcome, and yeah, and also I have a strictly drama page called Crystal the Actress, and Crystal is spelled as Crystal, because some people say CHR or KR. No, no.
So many
Like
different ways to spell it.
the normal Crystal, yeah. The normal Crystal.
And we'll make sure to tag both of those as well, just in case anyone missed a spelling on our Instagram, which we'll tell
Yeah.
in a while.
And also, guys, second, like, I'm not even sure like if this is allowed to like even say this. So like, if you want to put it out, then you can. But if anybody has been in contact to Marvel or some type of screenwriter, to anybody who would be like interested in my story and interested in taking me on, please do. So like even though like I've been acting for like over 10 years now, like I am still new, um like having a facial difference and feel like acting as well. So like if you know anybody who would take me on and try to give me a role as well, please hit me up and speak to me about it because that really helped me a lot. And then yes, so yeah,
Amazing. So yeah, we wanted to make this podcast as accessible as possible. So if you or anyone you know want to catch the closed captioned video version of the chat today, please head over to the National Youth Theatre YouTube channel to see our lovely faces and read along as we chat. We have started up an Instagram and a Twitter for the podcast. So the Instagram is Gettin Creative Podcast. That's GETTIN PO. Oh my gosh. It is GETTINCreativepodcast. Oh my gosh, this spelling thing's not for me. That's on the Instagram, and then on Twitter is Gettin Creative Pod. So GETTINCreativepod. We'll be posting all of the updates on different guests that we'll be having on the podcast, the dates that the podcast will be being released, where you can find them, little quotes and special bits and fun bits from each episode. So yeah, it'll just be the good places to go to keep in touch with us all and keep up to date with the podcast in general. And if you have any questions for us at the podcast or any guests in particular that you're desperate for us to speak to, then please make sure that you tweet us. Crystal, it's been absolutely amazing to speak to you today. Thank you for finding some time to join us. I hope you had fun.
Yeah, there you are. Like, and just thank you so much for having me. You are an amazing and fantastic person. I'm just so grateful that you just slid into my DMs and asked me to do this. I've had so much fun, and so yeah, I'm just so happy that I have this platform to like not only speak about my story but also the story of people who have a visible difference as well, who really want to act and perform. And because we have a voice and we're here and we want to change the story and the narrative. And so hopefully like it will happen sooner rather than later. But I know that me going to drama school and speaking to you has been a really good step in the right direction. So I'm really happy.
I'm so glad. Thank you. So that's all that we have for this episode. Thank you so much for listening along. Make sure you check out our socials to get the best bits of today's chat and also to follow Crystal on both of her pages. Thanks for listening, and until next time, bye.